See the fourth question. It is question about wash. To ensure effective implementation of policies addressing water, sanitization and hygiene needs, together referred to as wash. Water, sanitization and hygiene needs, the identification of beneficiary segments is to be synchronized with anticipated outcomes. Examine the statement in the context of wash scheme. To understand the question is a challenge here. Okay. The moment you understand the question, you will write the answer very easily. To ensure effective implementation of policy addressing water, sanitization and hygiene needs, the identification of beneficiary segments is to be synchronized with the anticipated outcomes. Examine the statement in the context of wash schemes. What do you understand by the question and give the framework. Yeah. So you can write, you can see the structure given by Raghu. Intro about the wash scheme, problems in implementing the scheme, what are the possible solutions, and conclusion or way forward. Good. So anyone who has written this answer, whose scripts have not evaluated yesterday or today?
Sir, is that framework given by Raghu is okay for this?
Yeah, because actually in the problems in implementing the scheme, you have to correlate, I'll explain anyhow, you have to correlate the issues in achieving the desired outcomes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the basic question is that the outcomes as desired by the wash scheme are not happening. What is the problem? Okay, the identification of beneficiary segments is to be synchronized with anticipated outcomes. That means I am having X as my outcome, provided the X is given to Y, instead of Y it is going to Z. So that means there is some problems in implementing the scheme. There are some problems in identifying exact beneficiaries of the scheme. And finally, there are problems with some outcomes of the scheme. So basically, you need to highlight these issues of the scheme and then give possible solutions to these issues, and then you have to conclude. Okay. So basically, as we discussed for this question, you need to write various aspects of the question. That is, what are the issues with the wash scheme? What is the basic intention of the outcome? And are we having any issue with addressing the beneficiaries? And then the supposed solutions, and then conclusion. Okay. So you can start with the wash scheme and how it is an essential public health program as and in line with the sustainable development goals. So in this context, the introduction by Raghu is good. Okay. It is basically intended to provide equitable and access water and sanitation for all the people. Okay. Then write issues with the scheme. Okay. What are the basic issues with the scheme? Basic issues with the wash scheme. Okay. And these points are not required. Raghu, the 3-point mission, Bhagirath and all, you can quote them as part of solutions or examples. You need not mention them upfront. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Problems with the scheme. Okay. Water contamination, sanitation system is quite expensive, and even now there is a lot of human interference in the sanitation system. Okay. And then climate change, lack of innovative ideas. You have missed the beneficiaries part, Raghu. So that's what I think even Jitendra was asking. So beneficiaries part is important here. So in the WASH scheme, what was happening is people were being only like poor people, low income people, people with a vulnerable background. These people were identified as the targeted segments of the WASH scheme. But then now it is realized that it's not necessary that people with lower incomes or poverty levels or etc. are actually the beneficiaries of WASH. Anyone who is not having access to proper water, sanitation and hygiene, they may be high or low. So now there is an increased awareness about targeting WASH scheme with regard to life cycle approach. So now the approach towards WASH scheme is more towards life cycle approach. That means how the human life cycle is being affected because of lack of proper WASH facilities. WASH means water, sanitation and hygiene. You might be living in villa, but if you are drinking a fluorosis affected water, your life cycle is impacted. So hence the beneficiaries, the intended beneficiaries, horizon is grown. It's not narrow. It's now a wider base of beneficiaries who are now targeted through WASH scheme. In solutions, you can write Mission Bhagiratha, definitely. Har Ghar Jal, a central government scheme. Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is trying to bring out the groundwater. Okay. And then, yes, beneficiary centric approach. Here again, you need to mention that the beneficiary base has to be increased with regard to the life cycle approach. Okay. And then bring in new innovative technologies like nanobots, nanorobots, or robots for sanitation and sewerage systems. Okay. And reducing open drains and having a proper drainage mechanism to improve hygiene. So all these solutions you can explain, and then again link the WASH scheme with the importance of sustainable development and how it can actually reduce the disease burden, including contagious and non-contagious diseases can be controlled by having proper water, sanitation and hygiene. You can bring down many diseases by having all these together. And with the bringing down of diseases, the overall health quotient of the government or the nation grows, which will actually add lot of social and economic capacity to the India in general, India and world. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Jitendra, now is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sriram?
Yes, sir.
Others? Rajni, did you follow? Soumya, Anil, Indu, Swati?
Sir, simply it is a blend of futures and issues related to that futures and need the way forward for that futures in a single statement.
I did not get you. There was a lot of echo. Tell me again.
Yes, futures and the issues associated with that futures.
No, and you see, it is all, it's speaking about a particular thing. Like in identification of beneficiary segments is to be synchronized with anticipated outcomes. So that's what I'm saying, right? Previously, WASH schemes were targeting the beneficiaries as people with poverty, low incomes, rural background. But apart from them, but then people with decent lifestyle are facing another kind of WASH issues. Not having proper access to potable water. You might be staying in a villa, but you are not having drinking water. Then it is an issue with WASH, right? So the identification of the beneficiaries is now enlarged. The life cycle approach is taken. That you have to bring it in the answer.
Yeah, sir.